And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Outdoors. My name is Paul K. And generally, this channel is devoted to hunting, fishing, motorcycles, guns, that kind of thing. Today we're doing something different. After I worked the night shift, and after work last night, I came directly up here to. I'm up in DEERFIELD, New Hampshire, which is about halfway up New Hampshire, about 5 miles from Epping, New Hampshire, which is near the famous New England Dragway. We used to go there when we were kids with our hot rods and drag race on the quarter-mile strips. But I'm at the DEERFIELD campgrounds, and I'm here this week for, it's called a Hamfest. I'm an amateur radio operator. I hold an amateur radio license. My call sign is NV1H. November Victor 1 Hotel. I'm an extra class, which is the highest option you can get, and I got it probably 30 years, in the 80s, 40 years ago, and you have an opportunity to talk to people from all over the world. It started out with CB radio, and the craze in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, and CB is somewhat still popular today, but this is a much more advanced version of it. And when I got my license, you had to know the Morse code, 20 words a minute, which is pretty significant. And it's like the Morse code is a means of communication, like a second language, and was used in from the 1800s to well into Korean War. And so anyway, what this is here, it's called NEERFest. We lovingly call it Nerdfest, and basically it's an opportunity to gather with other hams twice a year, and in Deerfield, New Hampshire here. They've been having it for about 15 years or so. I've been to most of them, and it's an opportunity to buy used amateur gear, amateur radio equipment of all kinds, antennas, transmitters, receivers, and shortwave radios, everything they do with amateur radio. So it's really fun, and I'll give you a glimpse into the world of amateur radio and what it entails and some of the gear that we use. And it's different. It ain't hunting and fishing, but it's outdoors, and it's Saturday morning. So hope you like this edition. Maybe I can show you something new, and maybe entice you into the world of amateur radio and shortwave listening. And it's pretty fun on our cold winter nights when it's just too daggone cold to do any hunting or fishing, or that's what I use it for, mostly in the winter. But it's a lifelong passion, and I hope you like this edition. And off we go. So I've been here, I got out of work at 1:30. Took me 2 hours to get up here. And these people are all waiting to get in. I guess they open around 9-ish. And so it's about 7:30 in the morning. Waiting to get in. It's only 1:00. I got up around 1:30 last night. It takes about 2 hours to get up here, halfway up in New Hampshire, in beautiful Deerfield, New Hampshire. And these are all the people waiting to get in to sell their stuff. We buy each other's old radio gear or new radio gear, and it's quite an event. And they have symposiums here. They have ways to operate amateur radio, all kinds of talks on it. And up here in beautiful Deerfield, New Hampshire, this is a pretty good country up here too. This is halfway up into New Hampshire, and it's a nice ride out in the country, and you get to see guys that you talk to, and they come from all over the East Coast really to go to this thing. So pretty fun. The anticipation builds. You should be letting people in half hour or so, and I'll see you inside. Standing there, it was like, what are you doing here?
I think he wasn't going to come because of Adrian.
Yeah. I told him to grow up there.
Yeah.
I said, he also was mad at me because I sided for Adrian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw his email, and it was a little bit warning.
Yeah. A lot of nice gear. And this is military radio gear. A lot of guys are that were in the military or radio men, and they're interested in this stuff. Beautiful gear. Some of the highest quality gear made. A lot of power. And so at this one, the higher the antenna goes, the better the signal is for people that aren't initiated to it. And those are way up in the pines. They have these special devices that launch those wires high up there so they can work mobile like this. And he's got a radio that's working right now. You can see that.
They won't back off because it's all driven by telemetry.
Talk to people all over the world. And these are Morse code keys used for sending Morse code for people that don't know. And you'll see tons of those here. It's a second language and very addictive and an effective way of communication.
Oh, okay, hold on. 20, 40.
These are relatively new software-defined radios where you don't buy a full-on radio, you buy a dongle or a software, and it gives you almost it's not as good as a full-size radio, but it's totally usable, and it's very popular today. Tons of reworked shortwave receivers, all for shortwave listening. And these are amateur radio transceivers and gear. Old, new. A lot of these guys work on them and put them back out here and make a little money. And they're all old school telegraph keys.
Side of the machine.
Antiques, very valuable probably.
The machine. This punch card over
Everything's for sale though.
In place of.
And as far as the food goes, there isn't one guy in this line that needs sausage and peppers right now, but they sell like hotcakes. famous Angelinos, but not one of these guys need them. But that's how we eat. Yeah, have a lot of fun. There's a few of these around, and vintage gear of every kind. Working, not working, anything you can dream of. Excuse me. Well, you have a good day. Thank you, sir. If you're into two-way communications, this is the place to come. Very interesting, and I don't know a guy that isn't interested in this.
Yeah. Cool.
Professional equipment, amateur equipment, everything you can dream of. A lot of fun. You come here with $500, you're going to spend $500. The holy grail of CB radios, one of them. Golden Eagle. All kind of CB equipment here. More of the high-end stuff.
They're back there. God, Greg's father and Greg.
And the lesser expensive ones. Those Golden Eagles are big money.
It's over.
A lot of military buffs show up here, and you see a lot of this kind of stuff. Beautifully restored or mint condition military vehicles, first to 9 Cavalry. Amazing. That's a swamp buggy. go mudding in this thing. All terrain. It's quite impressive. So this is an official Ham's car. Look at the rig, the antenna. Serious antenna for operating. There's another one here, but he doesn't have the antenna on it. And there's the radio in there. That's what we do. So I'm trying to give you a taste of what us hams do at these Hamfests, and listening to shortwave radio, wonderful in the winter, two-way communications in all different kind of modes, satellite. We can talk to the space shuttle, astronauts in our living room. Most of the astronauts are hams, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful hobby to get into. So if you have any desire, come on down here to Hamfest. I think you get the bug. It's another edition of Saturday Mornings with Paul K. Hope you like